while away and remembering what's
Okay.
going on, and with me not being sure exactly what you guys will do next, it's possible that I'll have to I'll have to be like, okay, I need some time to plan or something like that. But we'll see. I think I've got a few ideas. So
And this time we'll remember to make you guys not muted and able to hear.
Okay.
yeah, so I guess when everybody's ready to go, just let me know. Once you can confirm that we're hearable, I
Yeah,
guess.
you're good. I made sure before I came in to make sure it was working properly, so should be fine.
Okay. Yeah. So as mentioned, it's been a little while, so I'm gonna try and go through things as best as I remember them.
For
So
those
I
watching,
believe that where we started the last game was like in the motel room where there were the two, essentially like comatose folks
yes.
being guarded by the other guy who, seems to be another, bio android, whatever you want to call it, kind of individual similar to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you tried to like connect with them and wake them up and, like see what was wrong and why they weren't waking up because he had tried the same and couldn't do it. And you were basically getting like no response whatsoever. Couldn't, like, you could connect, but it seemed like there was nothing there to activate. So I believe that you guys from there more or less directly went back to the storage unit where all of the tanks had been originally found. And then Umbra went and checked all of the tanks and the data and found that for herself and for the tank of the guy who was I believe I gave you the names last time. For Stella is that guy's name. So for
I don't
Umbra and
think
Stella,
so,
they
but
both got fragmented data, but but they did get some of their data had been like downloaded before there was some sort of an interrupted connection with the stasis pods. The other two, the data was apparently, so incomplete or fragmented for whatever reason that it was basically just deleted rather than risking uploading it and breaking something.
yeah.
So there was essentially no data, no information for you to be able to help turn them on or, make them who they're supposed to be or what have you. And you and the other guy most definitely are missing some pretty big chunks of your memory and personality and all of that stuff, essentially, as far as you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was also a fight with two more security bots, which, in the course of which, Rain got fairly beaten up. I believe we discussed it beforehand. If we recall properly, I think he has a broken leg,
Yes,
and
that
I
is correct.
think that he might also have a reduced max HP until he gets rest. I
That I
think
don't
that's why he's
remember.
at 2 out of 3 hearts right now because I healed everyone up after battle because he had to be at 0 to get the injuries. So if we healed him to that point, I'm guessing that's because he suffered a reduced HP. Let me find
It
the.
seems about right. As I was going through it, he was getting beat up a lot, so
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find the injuries table and
I know
see
for a
and just
fact
make
you
sure
are
on
correct
there.
that he I do remember him having a broken leg. I do not remember the reduced
Okay, yeah,
HP thing.
wounded, your maximum heart total is reduced by 1 until you receive treatment. Yeah.
Ah,
So I
right.
believe he is both wounded and has a broken leg. So I think you got hit twice after you were out of hearts.
Absolutely mangled.
It's fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I
In the
also
So
meantime,
learned
I'll
yeah,
be easy.
that we're all
Well,
screwed, and this company is now definitely going to just be coming for us themselves, anyways.
that I believe was sort of your suspicion at the end, because yeah, you guys were taking a good amount of time trying to figure out a good way to like wipe the data from the robots or something like that until I kind of pointed to the corner and was like, "Hey, what's not over here?" The robot you fought last time. So
Yeah.
you now can rather reasonably assume that the company, having reclaimed that drone, if it has any sort of footage capabilities or recording or anything like that, they may well already have essentially seen what happened the previous day.
Yeah.
So like
Um.
you can still attempt to cover your tracks here, but you're probably at this point you can reasonably assume they're going to know that you were involved last night at the very least. Like getting rid of these guys could still make you, not look as guilty. But you're
I mean,
probably not going to totally prevent them from finding out you were involved.
the less in danger we are, the better, I think.
Yeah.
So I will attempt to delete any presence of us
Like I
here
said,
if
it's just
possible.
chasing around all the time. I go somewhere, I
Um,
find a seat, and
let's
then be
see.
rushing off to find a better seat.
What did we
I'm like a full
usually
sentence.
do for
You know what? I should. Sorry
for
about
your
this.
checks? I think it was.
Get there first.
My name
I
is trying to
think
do
I was
something.
doing it as like a grit check because, like, you being a cyborg and connecting to it, it's more of like a you trying to make a connection there as opposed to like coding or hacking in or something like that.
Sure.
It was either grit or aura.
Either way, that's a failure for
That
me.
Yeah. Okay. So you are not able to get through force your way through the firewall of this drone.
Okay. That's a success for the other one then.
Yep, you are able to force your way through the firewall on the other drone. And what are you? So once you have access to its system, is there anything in particular that you want to do?
Um, I would like to find anything like of us entering into this air into here, and it's not gonna really help for the second one though. But I'm sure you can figure something else out. Um, basically, I'm gonna take any like footage that they have of us fighting, uh, delete that and replace it with just like their guard duty, like basically cut and paste their guard duty and edit it to look like nothing happened.
Okay, if you're gonna try and edit something into the gap, I will need you to make another check.
Okay.
You can delete what exists just fine, but okay. All right. So yeah, you are able to essentially roll it as a loop for the portion of time while you guys were here. Yeah, luckily it seemed like when the drones are active, they basically like send like an update of what they've been doing over the last, like 15 minutes or so regularly. But you haven't been here for that long, and you were essentially able to get into this one before any, before the next ping. That
Okay.
being said, this also indicates to you that you probably have a few minutes to fully disable the other drone, otherwise
Uh,
it will
while
send something.
yeah, while I'm in this one system, can I find the physical part of it that would be transferring or storing this video footage, and then just tell the two of them just to break that thing?
Yeah, I think you would be able to find a schematic. You would need to, yeah, you would then need to basically break its internal memory. So give me an insight check with whatever this game calls
Edge.
advantage.
So just want me to roll twice then?
to figure out, yeah, to see if you can figure out where the memory storage is quickly enough to convey it to them.
Nope.
Okay, so you're scanning through it, and basically you're not sure exactly like where the memory storage is. You just know it's somewhere in the head.
Okay.
And you would estimate you've probably got like fewer than 5 minutes before the other one is likely to send a ping.
If it's just somewhere in the head, I just tell the two of them, hey, I know you guys are like all messed up, but like, can you destroy his all like basically make his head an innie and outie instead?
Ryan's gonna hobble over and start like immediately jamming his sword into the head.
Alright, make me a might check, but do it with the penalty because of your injuries. You are certainly not in the best of shape to be hacking at this thing.
No.
So your threshold will be an 11 instead of a 9, basically.
Damn.
Yeah, not quite. You're not able to get enough balance with your broken leg to really plant yourself and get a good swing in to actually do enough damage to break the head open with your first few attacks.
Oh, well, what if, um, Rain can lean on me?
Sure.
I
I would
can,
let him
I can talk.
reattempt it without the penalty. Also, I
All
said it
right.
backwards. It would be
In a
you would be
6,
doing it at a 7 instead of
a
an
7.
11,
Yeah,
yeah.
at a 7. That made
So now it would be,
wait,
but
what?
now it would just be at the 9.
Okay.
Gotcha. Well, let's do this. Still no.
Yeah, not quite. These things are fairly durable. And yeah, in his substantially injured state, he isn't quite managing it.
Um, can I just attempt to like disable a bunch of wiring to hopefully like stop the memory from being powered? The only other thing I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to be doing that physically because you already weren't able to crack its
Yeah,
firewall. So you would need
that
to.
I'm aware of.
Yeah, I will say basically just give me a straight deafness check to see if you yank the correct wire.
That's a note.
Okay. Yeah, so you just assuming that it is synchronized with the other one, you believe the window has passed in which it has probably sent an upload if it is still in a state where it can do so.
Okay. Well.
But the
Then.
other one you did disable appropriately. And
Okay.
you deleted and looped the footage. So they will, if anyone is actively looking at it, they will get conflicting things.
Okay. Um.
More than
Then
likely, someone won't immediately look at it, but it'll
there's
be sometime later.
one other thing I want to do before we leave, because I didn't want to have them being murdered while I'm trying to figure things out. Um. I quickly want to look to see if any of these pods do they transmit or bring in data from somewhere, and if I can get like a general idea where it might be from.
Oh yeah, they are supposed to have a data link to headquarters. For Biomancer, essentially. But at some point, something caused an interruption in the connection with all of the pods, more or less simultaneously, which is when all of that data corruption occurred.
Okay.
And like they do not seem to have been reconnected to the network since that point.
Okay. And nothing's been like physically removed or anything like that, right?
Not as far as you've noticed so far. I would give you I would let you make an insight check let's say with advantage again to inspect the pods.
I'm so glad I rolled a 9. Was that it? What did you say that was? An insight?
Yeah,
That's still
insight.
a failure for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as far as you can tell, nothing is like amiss. Like there doesn't seem to be any conspicuously unplugged wires or evidence of tampering in the consoles. Like you're not an expert on this stuff, certainly, so it's entirely plausible that that there is something amiss and you just don't know what it is. But as far as you can tell, it doesn't look like it was malicious. It was probably just some sort of a hardware failure. It might have even been just like a broken wire somewhere between here and the headquarters, since it affected all four of the pods. Like
Okay.
it might be something further upstream that got damaged that nobody ever caught or cared about.
Okay. Then there is literally nothing we can do here. Then, I assume. So,
Damn.
we're gonna have to just go back then, unfortunately.
Anybody else have thoughts or feelings before we head back to the big map?
My leg hurts.
That's a valid feeling right now. Oh yeah, so fun story. It's not fun, actually. My roommate, just a couple days after I got back here from being down dealing with stuff for my dad,
Yeah.
he slipped on a set of stairs and tore his ACL. So he has surgery
Ah.
this Friday for that.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Okay.
that's a fair amount of recovery time. It's 6 weeks before he
Yeah.
can even drive again, and then I don't know how much longer afterward for the rest of the recovery. So
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah,
yeah,
that'll take a long time.
yeah. So it's he's real excited for that. So it's
Fuck that.
your character can sympathize with him right now. Although
Yeah,
yours
that
will be
sucks.
fixed much more easily than his. All right. Well, let's go back to the big map for this zone. So, just as a reminder, you guys are over in the far left side of the green district where that X is, which is the business storage warehouses. The place that you just came from, the motel, is this white X down here in the lower gray area. The X in the area for the orange area, which is the Heat's territory, is where their base is, where you were at earlier, and then the X in the purple territory is the Wire's base, where you started out this morning. And at this point, it is fairly late in the afternoon. Like even though the transit here is unnaturally fast because they're able to cheat essentially. It is still, you guys have been going all over the layer all day and had a few different fights and things like that. So, you were woken up, or, not necessarily woken up, but you were approached in the morning at Gavril's house at like 8 a.m., and it's probably getting close to like 6 p.m. at least by the time you're leaving the warehouse here. So I just want to
Okay.
make sure that you guys have all of the relevant information as you decide what you want to do next.
Where would it be faster to go to? Would it be faster would it be the same amount of time to go back to the freaking to Gavril's house, or would it be faster to go back, or would it be less time to just go back to this the motel or whatever? Because I assume we're not
So
going very far,
Gavril's,
very very fast with a guy with a
yeah,
broken leg.
Gavril's is Well, again, there's good public transit here. So, you can get just about anywhere you need to on this floor in roughly 2 hours by hitting a couple transfers on trains or buses. That being said, from here, it wouldn't take that long to get to Gavril's place. Probably like if you were like just able to like run there and follow Gavril's paths through the rooftops, he could probably get there in like 20 minutes. Having to go by train or bus, you would estimate like half an hour. It's probably closer to like 45 minutes to an hour to get back to the motels.
I will let the guy with the broken leg decide what he wants to do.
Take about that same amount of time to get to the heat base as well.
Which, how long would it take to get to where what's his face is? That motel.
45 minutes to an hour would be the motel if you had to guess. So you would probably get there by 7.
Do we think that that'd probably be the best place to be right now? I'll put it like that.
Okay.
The least likely that
Well, I mean,
place
but
for
I'm
them to
just
look
asking
for you
you.
essentially.
Yeah, because they wouldn't necessarily be looking. Well, if they knew the droids were there, then they would probably be down there, right?
Yeah, as far as you know, they don't have a way to like track. There's not like a built-in tracking pinger or anything like that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have needed to jump through hoops trying to get help to find them.
Yeah.
They would have just come and snatched Umbra already, probably.
I think that'd probably be the best way to be.
And maybe I'm thinking, do we want to use the motel as like a temporary base of operations, like outside of my house?
Well,
I
I assume
think
we
that
only
makes
have
sense.
but we assume we only have like a few days to go report back to Medusa or whatever her name is, right?
Yeah.
At most.
Yes.
And I might be coming to a decision
Basically, if
that I
she
don't
doesn't
not want
hear
to do.
from you, if she doesn't hear from you by the day after tomorrow, she's gonna probably get in contact with the company and sell you out, is more or less what she had said.
And unfortunately, I might have to suggest something I don't really want to do as a character.
Yeah, maybe we should just check in with her and say everything is okay.
No, because she wants information. She's not going to care about if we say everything's
Oh,
fine, everything's good. She wants answers.
okay.
At least that's how
Yeah.
I would understand how she works.
I think that's a very reasonable interpretation.
But yeah, if we're gonna go somewhere, if that's the best place, then I guess we head back that way. And I try to look the least conspicuous as possible.
And I
Still
mean, I
not
can
having
also, rest over
still not having like full like humanoid looking body.
Don't worry, my purview is staying hidden. So
That's
I'm good
great for
at
you.
that. Yeah.
and I can spot what's well. I'm
I mean,
spotting what plays in the
that kind
darkness,
of
so
applies to you guys by proxy a bit. Like, he's good at being sneaky, therefore he can help you be sneaky too, to some extent. So, all right, I think the conclusion was we're gonna have a weekend at Bernie's. So, bring
Weekend
us.
at Bernie's.
I've never actually seen that movie, but it felt like a good reference to make,
Good
considering the
timing
guy's
then.
name is Bernie. Um, but yeah, so you come back, and then we'll say that I'm gonna hold on a second. We don't need all of these. Where's the What layer are the...
Probably the
Oh,
GM
did I already
layer.
get the combat zones off of your guys'
Yes,
screen?
they're not there. You only
Oh,
can't see
okay.
them.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure that it didn't look that horrible for you guys. As long as
Nope,
it's
we're
only
good.
me seeing it, that's fine. um, yeah, so I would say that Bernie and his girlfriend and the well, no, that's not the right amount. And the other guy who you now know is Stella, which he may himself potentially have not been aware of,
Yeah, I guess I
are
would know
all
their name
hanging
after
out
going
in
through all
the...
their. I would know their names going through all the pods, wouldn't I?
Yes. So the here, I guess just real quick, we'll go back there. Um, so from left to right, it's Stella, Nyx, Umbra, and Super Takeo.
Someone had too fun of a time making that name.
Somebody on the team was like, "Fuck your pattern, I'm making an anime boy."
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're all sort of hanging out in the, not leasing office, but rental office, I guess is what it's called for a hotel. And oh, wait a minute, that has too many HP. You need to. There we go. Let's represent your broken leg. Skull and
No.
crossbones is too much. What's Oh, snail. There we go. Put a snail icon on you.
God damn it, so
uh, so they're all sort of hanging out when you guys get back. And like I said, it's about 7 at this point. Not that that means a whole ton on this kind of island. Like, you're not getting a ton of natural sunlight or what have you anyway. Everything kind of looks about the same. But it's been kind of a long day. It's been a fairly busy day. And as they walk out, Bernie is kind of, looking around a little sheepishly. His girlfriend just doesn't really seem to care. She's kind of just hanging out, like, actually in the office. She doesn't even really come outside. And I'm gonna just put his name on there now. He did know his, just like you. He was able to, basically look in his own
Yes.
system and see, who am I? So I'll put his name on there now that you know it. But the two of them come out, and Bernie's just like, "Well, what did you find out? Can we fix them?
So I completely ignore
Did you
Bernie.
fix you?"
So I completely ignore Bernie and talk to Stella directly.
Yeah, he's just still got that same fairly solemn gaze that he had before.
Unfortunately, how would Umbra refer to him now that she knows? I don't know. But unfortunately, any and all data from the pods to wherever I am assuming the headquarters of this company was interrupted, corrupted, and destroyed before it can be put into them. The reason they will not wake up is because they do not have this data, and the only place I can think of where this data would actually be would be the headquarters of what's Biomancy is what its name is, right?
Biomancer mods.
Biomancer mods, yeah. So as much as I do not wish to do this, the only way we can secure them to be awake and safe is to return them back.
He kind of grumbles a little bit under his breath and just looks very pensive for a minute. And as he's doing that, Bernie kind of steps forward and says, "What could you do? Do they have to be the same people they were? How do you even know that they were a specific someone beforehand? Maybe there just was no data. Maybe you can give them new memories. They can just, be someone now. You
They
don't
won't.
have to give them back, right?"
They will not turn on without this missing data. The only reason we turned on is because we had half of this data from what I could find.
Yeah, but couldn't you, like, I don't know, make a new one for them?
Add a character, would that even be possible?
I would say that you're not sure.
Yeah.
Like, theoretically, if all of you are artificial, yes, because it means that at some point somebody did, make a personality or memories or, copied or downloaded them from somebody else or something like that, but it's not anything that you would have expertise of how to do. But you would imagine it is possible to, because, like, it would be necessary for y'all to exist at all, in a way. You probably just need somebody who's good enough at doing that kind of shit. And likely a decent amount of time and or money.
Which we don't have. Okay. Even if it was 100% possible to do that, I don't think we have the time nor the resources to do it. These two here that rescued me from my pod are under someone's, she thinks about it, thumb, in a way. If we don't return something back to her, they are going to be in trouble, let's say. Not
And
that
as
I
you
think.
say this, I'm gonna actually make a roll real quick. Oh, well, never mind. That's too high for Bernie. That's also too high for Stella. Okay. They, they both are kind of looking at you and thinking, and Stella's like, so, essentially, you would say that we return the two whom we cannot restore to function and see if that is enough to buy amnesty for these individuals here.
And ourselves, if you do not wish to return back to them.
That was the part that they both failed to roll on. Was like, oh yeah, they're gonna take the two of you as well if they can. Okay. I admit that it does give me substantial discomfort as well, but if there is a chance that they could be restored to their former selves, whoever those might have been, by returning them, then perhaps that is for the best.
I am going to
But
look at Bernie for a second here and actually ask him a question.
mhm.
Did you delete the memories of the guards in that place when you took those three?
No, I didn't have to delete anything. I just came in behind it and hit it really hard with a bunch of fire and it shut off.
But did you check to see if its memory unit was not transferring its recordings of when you were attacking it?
I mean, it didn't see me. I came up behind it and hit it really hard. Like, what
Okay.
would I need to worry about?
Then who did it see, or were you the only one that was there doing it?
Oh, it was just me.
Just going to the store.
Suspicious.
Well, I mean, it was also. Did I give her a name? Um, I mean, she was with me to help carry everybody back, but she didn't go inside at all. I was the only one who went in, and I could only actually figure out how to open 3 of the pods. So I carried 2 and she carried 1, and it worked out. But I'm pretty sure it
when,
didn't see me.
unfortunately, when these two first came to get me, and now that I went to go look for that data, the three of us, the company now knows that we've been into that place and are probably now going to look for the three of us. So
So
looking
you're
as
kind
the,
of screwed.
I'm just gonna
Well, I
stare
mean,
at.
you know,
I'm
if
gonna stare and squint at him, even though I can't squint because I don't have any eyes yet.
I mean, if I could, like, I guess it's kind of my fault in a way, sort of. I mean, not really, but a little bit. And you did beat me up, so I kind of have to help you. So I guess like there's plenty of empty rooms here if you guys wanted to stay here for a little while. Like, I don't think anyone would come look for you here. I'm gonna have to go back to the boss eventually, but I don't want to do that right away. And I still kind of want to. I, don't make your decision too quickly about turning them over. I have a couple people I want to talk to.
We only have at least one day and a bit before we have to bring some things to what was her name, Medusa.
Medusa.
Yeah, so if I were able to talk to someone, like, or have them come here, say, tomorrow to chat, would that be give you enough time to figure things out?
Unlikely, but fine.
Okay, I mean, hey, I'll take it. He just kind of shrugs.
That's all Umbra has to say. Umbra is probably just gonna go back to the two bodies to see if there's something her missed, like last ditch things that she can maybe think of that I'm too stupid. Me out of character is too stupid to think of.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, you can roll insight if you want to do that. See if that gives you any.
That
Oh, okay, that would.
almost a crit.
Yeah, almost, but not
Not
quite a
quite.
crit. Here, I'm gonna just go ahead and take the two of them off the map at least. Um, let's see. I think the only idea you would have that I can come up with that is something you could try right now would be to have either you or Stella connect to one of them and attempt to either like copy or transfer over. But that would essentially mean either, abandoning your body to go into that body or making a second copy of yourself into
Yourselves, yeah.
the other body.
Yeah, I do not. I don't think I'm going to want to make a second copy of her. She's one is enough for. Yeah,
But otherwise, like
yeah.
having
Without the
talked with
data that they're
Stella a little
missing,
bit
there's nothing
more
I
and
can do.
having, because you did successfully get into at least one of their systems last time, as I recall.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was basically like they are perfectly functional on a strictly technical level, but it's essentially like having a computer with no operating system installed
Mm-hmm.
and totally empty hard drives.
Yeah. In flesh and blood terms, they're missing their souls.
Essentially, yeah. Between the four of you, there's roughly one full one.
Yep. I have nothing else. Unless you two can think of anything.
Um,
Ryan is currently a bit too focused on being hurt.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would say you should be able to give yourself some first aid, I would assume. Let me see if there's anything in the rules for how do you treat an injury. Okay. Roll on the damage table, or remain until you receive treatment. 262. Here we go. Treatment of injuries. Treatments for a basic injury do not require specialist knowledge, all entering practice. If your injury requires treatment to remove, you need to use the heal an injury downtime activity. You can only heal a single injury during downtime. If you have multiple injuries, the least severe one is the first to be healed. Okay, so wounded is less severe than broken leg.
Yeah.
So if you spend your downtime, let's see. Oh, downtime requires approximately a week's worth of in-game time. So you're not quite gonna have the amount of time needed to just rest and heal either of your injuries until this next chunk of stuff has been dealt with. I
Jeez.
would say you can probably, go to like a clinic or something and get treatment for one of them, but that will require payment.
On time.
I mean, yes, but that's, it's more of like, they can do something that will heal one of the things over the course of, a day instead of a week.
Yeah.
It's just going to be expensive. Because, like, let's be real, if this were reality, you ain't healing a broken leg in a week either.
Oh no, definitely not.
So, like, by the power of, video game coding and magic and whatever else it happens to be, like, they
It's
can heal
fine.
one
I'll
of your
just pack
things
it
in a
back to
day.
place.
So if that is something that you wanted to try and do during the next day, that might be doable, if you were to find a clinic or something. Yeah, otherwise, in, like, overnight, is there anything else that anybody wants to do?
Um, how many days has it been since I've been awake now?
This was the first day.
This was still the first day? Actually, yeah, you guess it was.
Yes, it was.
Jesus, okay.
So you're more or less still going to look like a featureless mannequin the next day, but you'll look like what your eventual skin tone will be, basically, is kind of what I was thinking.
Alright, so really off-white.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't really have it. If I literally, there's nothing Umbria can do.
Like, there
She's
would
tried
maybe be a
everything.
little bit of, like, tiny hair stubble starting to come out, but it would be, especially with how light in color it is on your character token, like, it would probably be short and light enough that no one's even really gonna know.
Mm-hmm. Um, Umbra, I think, is going to try and think of just she what they can say to Medusa to not have them bring all of them back to the Biomancers or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
just taking some time to ponder how to
uh,
navigate
yeah,
the necessary conversations.
Umbra's screwed. There's no way that I think the only one who is probably safe, ironically enough, that she doesn't have to turn over to them is probably Stella. because unless she can get magically their data from their headquarters somehow, Stella's the only one that isn't known about what's happened to them and hasn't revealed themselves and all. And I've screwed myself by going back to the thing to try and figure stuff out.
Fair enough.
So I guess the only thing I can think of is see if Bernie is not useless and actually is useful for once.
Wow, brutal.
But fair.
All right. Well, then the next day, morning rolls around. I think, there wouldn't necessarily be anything going on immediately. If you talk to Bernie, he would say that he's expecting one of his friends to come by sometime around the middle of the day to chat for a bit about the whole situation.
Okay.
So if you have anything that you want to do for, a few hours before then, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we can have them appear.
Um, I mean, Umbra does need food to get her skin back. So she'll ask Avril, "Hey, can you just go pick up any food that I can eat, and just so I can, you know, eat it?" Which is strange for you because you wouldn't think I'd be able to eat food.
I, Gavril, he probably has a banana in his pocket,
That's
but it's
gross.
probably a
Banana in your
rotten banana.
pocket.
Yeah, I could. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
no.
it wouldn't be that hard for Gavril to go down the street somewhere and find like a restaurant and get takeout. Like honestly, I would say you could
Or
probably get,
steal it.
yeah, if you wanted to do
If you
that.
want.
I would say it would cost 1 coin to get enough food for all three of you guys to eat for, let's call it brunch essentially.
Okay.
Or you can
Okay.
steal it if you want to do that. That would be a deftness check, but there will be substantial penalties if you fail and get caught stealing.
Oh, he's been around here
Oh,
for a while. I'm sure he'll be fine.
okay. Deafness.
Are you actually doing this? Okay.
No, I'll probably just. Well, my thing is general mischief, but I guess I'll follow the rules and
We're
actually
already in
pay
enough
I mean,
for
trouble
it.
as it is.
mischief and criminal activity are often different things, admittedly.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of got that. So yeah, I'll just pay for it. The food.
All right.
Go.
Then yeah, I will take 1 coin off of your sheet, and there is enough food for everybody to eat for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Ryan will
Otherwise,
have. I guess Ryan will have moved into one of the other motel rooms.
yeah, I
He's nursing
imagine
his
like
injuries.
you each probably grabbed your own room. Like there's more even than just the ones that are here. I just didn't want to build an infinitely big map.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Umbra's gonna just stay in the same room as the two that are as from the same whatever. I'm gonna stay in the same room as them. And is just gonna be doing constant calculation to see if she can think of anything but coming up with nothing. Staying plugged into a wall.
Um, well, in that case, after some time passes, uh, everything, y'all have had some lunch, made yourselves a little bit more comfortable here, kind of had some time to talk, and try and figure things out, and maybe not necessarily feel super confident about how it's going. Bernie's friend does arrive, and he walks over and says, "Hey, so I figure you should probably be involved in the conversation too, since I guess it, does to you and all of that stuff. But this is and I should probably put her on the layer.
Give me one
This is
second.
my friend. Her name is Fiber. She's in the other group. But we've known each other actually since before either of us joined up. She's really good at people programming stuff, so I thought maybe if you wanted to explain the whole problem with why the others won't wake up, maybe she would have an idea for how to help or something. And then, does anybody know offhand who this is? If not, I will
We
have you
did
guys roll
see
for
her
it.
in the. I assume we saw her in with Medusa's crew or whatever, right?
Yes.
Other than that, no.
All right.
I
Everybody can
guess
go ahead and.
I recall the
What was
image.
that?
I'd say I recall the image, but other than
Yeah.
that, not really.
Everybody, go ahead and roll me insight, just because I'm curious. It's not a big deal if y'all fail,
Nope.
but
Okay.
Oh,
okay. I think
And
the
nope.
one with the lowest insight was our succeeder there. um,
I'm
yeah.
useful.
Rain, as he's looking at her, and I'll just bring both of you over here as well.
He
As
stumbles
he's
over.
looking at her, he's pretty sure that she's the one who was sitting on the big couch with Medusa.
You were Medusa's, weren't you?
Hmm? Yes, she's my lover. Why? What is
Oh,
it to
nothing.
you? Oh, you all are the ones that she sent running the errand yesterday.
Yeah,
How
that's us.
how is that go? Is that why? Is that what this is about?
Pretty much. I think I should
Yeah.
let someone else explain the
Hmm.
situation.
Well, see, now I'm doubting whether I should get involved because I feel like that's going to get me implicated.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Out of character.
I'll hear you out, but I'll let you know I'm a little bit hesitant now to actually do much right now. But please, from what Bernie described, it sounds like an interesting case at the very least. You, the featureless one, you were the one that it sounded like made the key discoveries. What can you explain to me of what data you gathered and how?
The problem is that they are missing data.
Well, yes, this one explained that much to me. What data are they missing? How much of it? When did it go missing? Did they ever have it and it was deleted, or what did it fail to be installed in the first place? Give me details to work with. Woman?
Uh,
Are you? Oh, I mean, I don't wish to like misgender you, or like you have vaguely some curves, but without any actual like defining features to you. I'm not really sure
God,
which
how
would
does
occur to
Farmer
you.
want to explain this to her? Because if she tells her too much, she's just gonna go back to to Medusa and just then we're gonna have to deal with Medusa taking them, and then I'm already having problems that I don't want to give him to the biomancers. Uh, um,
All right, I'm gonna do something that's gonna sound a little weird here, but I need you to give me a grit check.
Fail horribly.
Okay, good. I wanted you to fail it. You are like very noticeably fidgeting. Like even without like facial features and stuff like that, like she can see like your fingers kind of moving, almost like you're like starting to type something and then stopping, and your head kind of tilting a little bit at different angles. And she's like, "You're uncomfortable right now, aren't you?"
Um, in all honesty, I don't think she knows what being uncomfortable is, but she's like, maybe. I
Been fidgeting like that ever since we began talking. She turns to Gavril since he's the closest one. Is she usually doing this or
No, actually, this is the first time I've seen her do this. As also,
okay.
um
Let me ask you a question then. Are you missing some of your data?
me, I'm.
not
No,
I
sorry. She turned back to Umbra when she said
oh,
that.
okay. Like
No, that's
I'm
my
not.
bad. You're right. You're right. That was my bad.
I'm not a robot.
um
Oh, I can fix that for you if you'd like, hon.
Oh,
she stops. I guess she'll stop fidgeting. She'll just think, from what I have found, at least half of my data is missing
Hmm.
due to a malfunction of the thing I was stored in.
Well, I am sorry that it must be difficult lacking your memories. I am fairly good at writing them for folks, but I've thankfully never had to do so for myself, so I apologize. However, let me offer you two things. The first, as strange as it may sound, if I am correctly guessing the nature of the issue, your being incomplete might actually make it easier for me to find a solution to your friends. Also, as I said, I am leery of involving myself at this moment. However, I will also promise you that I will whisper none of what I see or discuss here today with my partner until after the conclusion of your business with her, unless I do choose at some point to get involved. Call it
Can
personal curiosity at this point.
can I do like an? I guess it would. The most obvious thing would be an insight on that to see if I can think she's telling the truth to that or not.
Sure. Would it be insight or would it be aura in this game? So I
Uh,
think aura is like people stuff, insight
okay.
is
Well, I
like
will let you know
perception.
if it's insight, I fail, but if it's aura, I crit.
Okay, I think that's very relevant and worth me looking it up then. So
Even though I was looking at Rain, our things are the same for that.
okay. Aptitude.
God, even though I took a
Yeah, I think
fucking
aura is more interpersonal stuff. Well, quick thinking, observation, comprehension for insight. No, because when they explain stuff, it's like getting attention of a crowd, being noticed by the right people, shaking off effects of mind-altering spell is aura. Understanding esoteric writing, seeing through an illusion is like it feels more like insight is meant to be analytical, and aura is meant to be more personal. So I am going to just say that when we're doing stuff like sense motive kinds of checks, we're going to use aura just to make it simple for myself. In that case, yes. So that would be you have a
I have
9,
9.
you rolled. Okay, so that's the crit success.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I will just tell you, you're pretty sure she's being honest. She seems both like she wants to help, while, as she acknowledged, being kind of afraid to do so, but also genuinely curious about, like, what is going on. So, like, as far as you can tell, like, she is being honest with you.
Um. There's one thing that I think Umbra wants to confirm first, if she can tell her or not. She'll ask before I say anything about our problem, can I ask something that you might know about Medusa?
You can
If you
ask. I will answer if I'm comfortable doing so.
what would she need from us to complete the task that she's given us? How much would she need is what I'm asking.
Depends how good the story is. She's more or less giving y'all a chance just for fun more than anything else, to be perfectly honest with you. She doesn't necessarily care whether you succeed or fail or how you go about it, as long as she is able to get the corpos off of our neck. Like, that's really what she, the ultimate goal is, and she kind of wants to have some fun while doing so. Otherwise, the simple solution would have been to just turn you over yesterday morning. So, like, the more you can pique her interest, the more she's likely to accept, is the simplest way that I could explain her wins.
Okay. Then Umber will tell her that the two of us, pointing to myself and Stella, have about. Would you say we have about half of what of the data that we need to be functioning or whatever? Well, I don't know how much. How much would you
You're
say
you aren't positive. You just know that,
we have
like,
enough to be
enough
functioning?
enough data to be functional was downloaded for you and Stella, and like not corrupted. But for the other two, it either never downloaded fully or it was too corrupted and was auto deleted. You're not
Sh-
sure exactly which one it was that happened.
And I
Like,
do
for
want
all
to
you
just.
know, all four of you might have gotten a full data load, but it was horribly corrupted, and like half was salvageable for the two of you, and none was salvageable for the others.
Okay.
But as far as you could tell, you think it was an interruption somewhere mid-process.
I also am going to assume that Medusa knows how many of us there are, right? There's four of us? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean that was on the drone that captured the video. Got saw the whole room. So
Okay. Then the two of us, pointing to Umbra and Stella, um, I don't know how much data that we actually have, just that we have enough to be functional. And when I went to go see if I could get the data to make the other two functional, there I could not. The data transfer to them was either corrupted or stopped downloading or was straight up deleted before anything could go into them.
okay.
Um,
So I would like to ask an odd question that is not necessarily most appropriately aimed at you, but at the other two here with you. do they seem to have a personality? And I guess, do you feel as though you have a personality or memories or, character flaws, things that you love, dislike, or are afraid of? Or, do they seem to be slash, gesturing a number, do you seem to be, and you at Stella, more or less a blank slate?
That's a good question out of character.
To an
Um,
extent.
Stella
I
wasn't in. He didn't go with us to the warehouse, right?
no, Stella did not. He
Stella
stayed here.
stayed here.
Yeah.
Um,
So that.
I would say
But
that
so, in your opinion, or in Gavril's opinion, Kaz, would he think that Umbra has much of a personality so far, from what he has
Oh,
seen? That's the question.
yeah. Um. Well, I'm not too sure, but I think there might be like the personality or whatever might be starting to come out, like be noticeable, but it's hard to tell.
Okay. Thank you for your honest assessment.
Yeah.
um
There is an extent to it. So I can, from the voice perspective, there is no real emotion there. However, there has been, as far as gestures, there are at the very least there is at least something there.
Such as the fidgeting that I noticed earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Umbra actually does have an answer. She'll say, when I first awoke, I thought that since I was the only one, that I was the only one that existed. But ever since I have found these three, I have found that I do not want them to be returned to whoever these people, in quotes, own us. Because if you
Okay.
remember, Umbra did say when they were going to go get the data that she did not want to return the three of them back to the Biomancer.
Oh yeah. No, very much so. She kind of just is idly playing with one of the little strands of wire that functions as hair. Which is just interesting. And for you, as she gestures at Stella, and he just kind of is, as he has been, thinking very slowly, kind of stroking his beard, and he says, I believe that the longer that I am, the more I have a feeling of how I wish to be, or perhaps I'm supposed to be, but it's difficult to explain, and I don't really know if that's the way that it is or the way that I want it. But as with this one here, I wish only to help the others, and I suppose in the process that would serve to help me. She just kind of nods a little bit and okay. So it sounds to me like basically what you had said before, gesturing at Umbra, is correct. That you two got at least a partial payload of personality, memories, things like that, but not. You got the functional memories, but not the fun memories, let's call it. Like, for example, you're both articulate and well spoken. You demonstrate multiple different capabilities and understanding of the situation that you're in, the ability for self reflection, all of the things that are needed to make a person, but it seems like the things that make you an individual are the ones that didn't make it through the transfer, if that makes sense. It seems like some of it did, and maybe those sorts of memories are building upon themselves and either, repairing the fragmentation or filling in the gaps in a new way or something like that. I would need to actually, connect and take a dig through your code to try and figure out anything of that nature or to that degree of specificity. But it seems as though you do have a fairly good grasp on what actually physically happened to you. So that is good. As far as the other two, what can you tell me about them? Or, would you let me see them and potentially attempt to connect with them just to see what is or is not there? Um, really anything would be helpful.
Um,
Like I can give you some of my guesses so far, but if I could actually take a look at them, I'd be able to
their
give you some more specific answers, perhaps.
their phys their physical forms themselves are fine. There's nothing wrong, as far as I can tell, and their uh well, code, I guess, whatever would be considered, I guess. Everything says that it is okay, but they do not wake. Any
So they're likely
any queries or
missing
anything I
mental
send code
data
back is
in
fine.
total. As far as you're aware, are all four of you the same production model? Like, were you created at the same time in the same way? If you were, like, let's say if the bodies had been swapped between different pods, would everything theoretically have worked out just the same?
Um, can I look to see what my production model is?
Sure.
And then
Go ahead and make something up. If you want
okay.
to. Otherwise, I can do it.
Yeah, I you put me on the spot too faster to think of numbers for a random production model.
Do you need some help? Is it on the back of your head?
So we'll say that both Umbra and Stella would essentially run a quick query, and they would find it would be let's see, BMN dash BD dot 00154 would be the production code for both of them. And don't necessarily ask me to ever remember that specific sequence of letters and numbers again, nor do I think it will be relevant, otherwise I would write it down.
Nowhere
Well,
to
yeah,
write that.
the recording is working this time, so I can
Yes, the
always I
recording
can
is
always
working this
consult that
time.
if I need to.
As long as I have it, it's fine.
Okay.
There's nowhere to write notes in the character sheet, so I guess I could put it into the description, but whatever.
Or you can put it in the chat.
Um, but yeah, so if both of you have the same code, that would lead her to believe that more than likely all four of you have the same code. So that would be so she would, say like, okay, so if that is the case, and again, I have currently no intention of getting involved, nor would I be able to do this sort of thing quickly enough for it to be a plausible way for you to get out of this whole predicament anyway. Plus, my services don't come cheap. But theoretically, I could likely use the base mental data on one of the two of you as a blueprint for what your particular model's mental scaffolding is supposed to look like, and be able to get them to at least a, shall we say, functional state where they would be able to activate themselves, be conscious, be capable of speech, and things like that. However, if I do something like that, I will want to be very, very careful to avoid all of the more personal portions of your data banks, because I wouldn't want to copy your personality onto them, even nascent as those personalities may be. That being said, I would, if we wanted them to be, anything more than just functional, either I or someone else would need to actually write new, some sort of memories, some sort of, at least a base personality seed for, to then use as the basis for them to actually build their own new persona, become their own new person. Either that, or someone would need to get the original files from Biomancer, and I feel like good luck with that. So I guess I don't know how much this helps you, but if you find a solution that allows you to not turn yourselves, or at least them, over, I can, we'll need to work out the details, because, like I said, it'll take some time, and I don't work cheap, especially not for something this difficult, but we might be able to activate them and give them, at least a new life. It may not be the life they originally had or the people they originally were, but, and I'm going to tell both of you this for free, neither are you. Given the fact that you are fully online, have been for, now an extended period of time, and are exhibiting at least some personality traits, some memories, some preferences, feelings, that sort of thing, it does mean that you are currently, filling in whatever did not get uploaded with new experiences, new memories, new preferences, new quirks. And if you were, say, to get access to your original personality data relatively soon, it's very likely you could reinstall it, manage a few conflicts, make a few decisions, and be mostly whoever you were before all of this, assuming that that each of you was someone before all of this. I don't know your background, and seemingly neither do you. However, if much more time passes, you will likely never be who you used to be again. You will be very similar to them, but you will be, for, most intents and purposes, a new individual. I feel it's important for you to know that. So, weigh that as you make your decisions, I suppose.
How long will we have to regain those memories before they're
I
useless?
don't know. I could maybe give you a better estimate if I actually connected and, tried to take a look through in your memory banks and see, what everything is laid out like, but honestly, even if I did that, I would be guessing at best, considering, I've never worked on your specific model before. I don't know what the exact difference is between a fully formed personality matrix in your kind of system architecture and a partially formed one is, or how long it takes for that sort of thing to build through experience as opposed to, model learning, such as what usually happens when, like fully simulated organisms are created. So like if I were to give you a guess, I would say without any substantial mental like issues and like deep conflict resolving differences in personality and experience, maybe a month or two. Like after that point, it would likely be more damaging to attempt to re-merge the original data than it would be, than any benefit you would likely derive from it, if I had to guess. But I certainly don't mean to be prescriptive about this whatsoever. So I guess that this is not an easy thing, not an easy thing to put upon someone, but it's sort of now incumbent upon the two of you to decide whether you want to try and be who you used to be, or if you're comfortable being and becoming who you are now. Because if you do wish to regain your old self, likely going back to Biomancer is the only way you'll accomplish it. Unless you know someone who's both a lot better of a hacker than anyone I know and like way more guts than anyone I know, because like trying to hack directly into especially something as sensitive as like personality data mainframes in one of the major corps, I don't know who would be willing to try and do that. So you would probably need to attempt to come upon it as honestly as possible. And good luck. Or, break into their headquarters physically and then somehow manage to access the system and download it. But that's honestly even dumber than trying to just access it remotely. So good luck either way. And if you do attempt either of those, it wasn't my idea. Also, don't attempt either of those. They'll probably just turn you into scrap. And or, paste.
Umbra has no idea what to do then. How long
Is
and how
there anything else that I can attempt to answer for you, or it seems as though you would rather me not take a look at the others yet, which I understand given my inability to commit to assisting at the moment.
how
So if
long and how much would it be to at least make them, functioning so we don't have to carry them?
to make them a baseline level of functional to where they would essentially be robots, not really people yet at that point. It would uh okay, again, I'm kind of just guessing because I would need to actually take a look inside one of the two of your architectures to see how easy it is for me to work with, how much I can sort of just cut and paste and how much I'm going to need to write my own workarounds and stuff, I would guess it would probably take me at least a couple weeks. But once I had it for one, I would be able to just sort of copy paste that for the other. Um, if you wanted them to have, new memories, personalities, that sort of thing, I am capable of doing that, but depending on the level of detail and that sort of thing, that could take up to a couple of months for each of them. And just for the reverse engineering the architecture and getting them to, to turn on and at least have the lights on even if nobody's necessarily home, I could probably do that for about 1,000 coins. I might need to, adjust that price a little bit depending on again the complexity of the architecture and things like that, but I wouldn't charge more than 1,500. Like I couldn't see a world where I would actually work hard enough to justify that much. Um Building memories is going to be more expensive. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't seem to be exactly swimming in wealth at the moment. So that's probably something that we would need to either discuss quite a ways off or find some other way for to make it worth my while.
Checks or pockets that aren't there.
Do you have any other questions that I can attempt to answer for you?
Um, Umbra has none. She just kind of just is computing. As I also think in real life, what the heck am I gonna do? If either of you two have any helpful insights from her, she looks like she is deep in thought.
Otherwise, I think I'm gonna go on and head out. And I suppose probably see you back at our place either later today or tomorrow, regardless of what you decide, I suppose.
Well, yeah, you can just let Medusa know that we're okay. I like to think that she cared about us.
She does, but not in the way you hope. And it would
Okay.
probably be better for you if I don't, as I said, mention the fact that I met with you at least until your business is concluded. But you're
Okay.
cute, like a puppy. And she, after saying that, she just sort of walks away.
Okay.
Red gives a slight wave gesture.
And
But
then
she does the, kind of like casual walking away wave thing as she leaves.
Gavril kind of looks down and blushes and brushes the strands of hair from his face.
Um, since this technically concerns the both of us, Stella Umbra will ask Stella what he would want to do.
Oh, it's difficult to say. I feel very conflicted, both for them and for myself. I will admit I have, let's call it a fear of this company and of returning to them, because I can't help but think if we were all in pods in some warehouse as though we were no more than, cargo or an item to be sold or something like that at some point for some unknown amount of time with these fragmented memories, then I struggle to believe that going back to the company would suddenly cause them to be deeply invested in us and wishing to fix the problem.
That
I
I can
fear
agree
they
with.
may just choose to put us back in those sorts of tanks again or something similar, and nothing will have been accomplished. But I also don't know enough to know whether that is true. And if what she said about our memories is correct, then I don't know what the real me, if that was a person or is, would have preferred. And if I should prefer the same thing, or if I am a new me. And if I make this decision for myself, if I'm so uncertain about it for me, do I have the right to make it for the two of them? But I don't want to go back. And I don't want them to have to go back. I think I would rather be a new me than be whoever I was, but in a tank with no thoughts or experiences again for who knows how long. And even if I did become the old me again and put in that tank, who's to say this wouldn't happen again? And the same for them. Like, maybe the only way they can ever be anyone is if they go back, but maybe the only way they can be anyone is if they don't. But we know that we can make them be someone again if they don't go back. It just takes time and money. Things that can be accomplished. I don't know. I find these thoughts conflicting, but what do you think? I think I've got a fucking headache. My God. Did this at least help you guys a little bit?
Um, God, God damn it. Well, I think the first thing Umber has to do is deal with the immediate thing. She has to help Rain and Gavel figure out what they want to tell Medusa first. And so because if we can convince her not to in quotes blow the whistle on them, not that it matters because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get targeted by them anyways for the biomancers. But I'd rather have them the whatever Medusa's group is named, I can't remember. Uh not also being forced by them to also come after this would make things a lot easier. And only just having to deal with at least the biomancers that it would be easier in quotes. I don't know. Umbra doesn't really know much about like the corporations or anything like that. But the less people after them would probably be for the better. So now the question is, you two, what do we even tell her?
Um, um,
Hey man, I've been guys, I've been talking this entire time. I know it involves me the most, but I need ideas.
yeah. Well,
No think head empty.
No think leg broken. Thoughts are stored in the femur.
yeah. Well, I'm getting the sense that the it's the biomechanoids like Stella and Umbra and those two other people, guys on the beds, they're like prisoners of the biomechanoid corporation. Is that kind of correct?
I mean,
That we
possibly,
need
but
I would say
we need to
after a moment or two of thinking, Stella would say, I it's not necessarily correct, but it
or
isn't inaccurate.
do we need to stage a revolution?
Break everyone
To
out of biomancer.
to be frank,
Viva la revolution.
I I don't think that, and this would be Stella again. I don't think anything as grandiose as revolution is necessarily warranted. It's not, as I said, your comparison of us to prisoners was not inaccurate, but it wasn't necessarily the most accurate either, at least with the information we currently. Like, to our knowledge, we weren't held against our will or, taken into custody or anything like that. We were in some way created by this company. So I would not call us their property as we are, thinking
okay,
living beings, but until a few days ago, we, didn't possess faculties or, experience or what have you. So it isn't as though they've necessarily deprived us of freedoms or such things as you would do to a prisoner. It's more that we perhaps never had them.
But I imagine you yearn for the freedom to be away from this company and to be able to not exactly be hiding in the shadows.
Oh, most certainly. But again, I don't know that anything so grandiose as a revolution, as your friend here put it, would be warranted or even successful. Because I mean, think of the state that we were in when first coming out of the tubes. Like, I was only somewhat functional, and even then only at a very basic level. The other two were not. I imagine it was much the same for Umbra here. Like, even if you were to, say, somehow break into the corporation's headquarters and start cracking open tanks and activating others like us, who's to say that they would even function? Who's to say that they would want to join in a revolution? Like, if they have properly, developed and installed memories that we're lacking, maybe they would actually be, very happy and supportive of the corporation or something like that. Like, it just feels
okay,
unwise to me.
I just want to point out the very conspicuous fiber in the
yeah.
top left corner hiding the motel.
Well, now that you explain it, all that sounds stupid. My
I apologize. I
idea
did not I did not mean to demean
that
your idea in any.
that's okay. No, I was just thinking of ideas. I don't really know what to do either.
I think all of us are in much that same position right now. Yeah, well, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go take a fucking nap. As he walks over and enters one of the motel rooms.
Enjoy your nap, Bernie.
We are right around, like, we're getting pretty close to when we would usually wrap up a session. Is there anything else before I start getting to where I want to wrap us up here today that you guys want to say or do or ask or suggest?
It's
Explode.
looking. It's looking a lot like we just say it's looking like we'll hand in the two that are effectively unconscious and find some way to spare both of you from this the situation.
I will admit that while I would prefer to not hand them over, I think that if at least some of us have to be returned, it would be best for the two of us to have this chance at making our own new lives, since it seems the others may not.
And if the others do get handed in, there's a chance they could be reimplanted with their original personalities that were taken from them.
I would hope so, even if I doubt it.
I doubt it too, but sometimes having positive hope is, well, having some hope is better than none at all.
I think I understand, and I thank you. Is this... He kind of takes a deep breath and sighs. Is this the conclusion that you so reach as he turns to Umbra?
I think before Umbra decides if she's going to hand them over or not, to see if she can maybe convince Medusa to not hand them in, but if that is the only course after talking to her, then yeah, probably.
All right.
I don't recall, does Medusa know of Umbra properly? Obviously, Fiber does now, but she has said that she's not going to see anything.
Yeah, you all had to basically explain like who and what Umbra was when you met her the first. And that's part of what got her interested in everything that was going on and willing to give you a chance.
Right, so the only true unknown here is Stella. Because the other two, well, they know there's four, but one of them could have very easily gone missing.
Yes, essentially. Like you could theoretically tell her, yeah, I mean, we found these two, but don't know what happened to the other one, if you wanted to try something like that.
I mean, returning two of the four is probably enough to get us out of crap, I assume. But at the same time, wow. That just goes back to the circle to the original predicament.
Yeah, I think try and convince her to, because it's clear that she does also not give a shit about the corporations either, right? She just wants them
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
stabbed,
like
breathing down her neck.
she just wants them to leave her group alone, basically.
which also said, well, didn't she also say something along the lines of she's interested as long as we're interesting?
Basically, yeah. Like her ultimate goal is to get the corporations off of her and her group's back, but she knows that she can do that at any time by handing you over. So she's giving you a little bit of time, giving you a few days, hoping that something interesting will happen, And if not, then oh well, no scales off her tail.
Yeah.
Not that I think that that threat has any weight anymore because we've pretty much screwed ourselves over. But if we can get her on our side to help with this, then maybe. Because if I think no matter what we do, even if I try and I will not be able to lead a normal life because and kind of you guys by proxy, because we went there and we were unable to stop them from probably sending whatever message to them. Now, if they're stupid and don't realize that they're sending things and they don't even notice us, maybe we'll get lucky, but I don't know. I can't guarantee that. But yeah, that's it. That's all I can think of.
All right. Then if nobody else has got anything, then we will say that y'all basically pass the rest of the day here, still kind of chatting, figuring out, what you want to say to Medusa, how you're gonna that kind of thing. And then in the next morning, I should go grab the token again for the guy who gave y'all a ride the first time, over to the other side of town, shows up here.
I do want to
And
make something very clear though.
yes.
Before we go off and do this, we do not reveal Stella or the other two yet. I want to make that very
Oh
clear.
yeah, no, totally fair.
Oh yeah.
And I am actually gonna put Stella and them. I'm gonna take them off of the map. Yeah, no, I'm figuring like this guy shows up in the morning and he's like looking around and like seems kind of visibly like uncertain about something. And like you all see him out in the parking lot and recognize him, we'll say. And who would be the one who would approach him first, do y'all think? All right, so I'm gonna say that the first one to go out of their room when this guy is here in the lot is Rain, and the guy when he sees Rain is he seems almost visibly surprised, and he's like, "Huh? So you are still here?"
Yeah, we're still hanging around.
Interesting. So how did you trick the corp? And I'm gonna end it there.
Oh.
I just want to give you guys a nice juicy cliffhanger.
To be continued. Okay.